Hello and welcome to PMC English. This is Aishi Farasi and welcome back to a new episode of Social Heroes. In this episode of Social Heroes, we have Sree with us. She is the founder of Breathe Shelter. She is a vegan and she is a high time meditator. So in this episode, we are going to talk about her spiritual journey, her life journey, and how she landed up with this concept of Breathe Shelter. So let us get in conversation with her. Welcome to PMC English, Sree. So lovely to have you here in our studio today. So starting with your Breathe Shelter, like what made you start this Breathe Shelter?
Actually, the first step is I adopted a rescued dog. From there it started. Till that time I don't know about this animal love and all. So I used to do service for humans, little things which I can do. But once after I got a dog to my life, then this journey started. I used to feel all the dogs are same as my pet. So it started in a little way. I used to feed them. While feeding, if I find any injured dog, then I used to take to clinic. So like that it started.
Okay. Listening to this, it sounds just like mine because I also do on a small scale now and trying to do it on a larger scale with shelter. Very lovely knowing this about. And secondly, I heard that you are a meditator. So when did your meditation journey begin and what made you actually start meditation?
When I was in second class, my school gave us the topic of meditation and all. So there it started. They used to make us meditate per day 2 times like that, like early morning and after the lunch. So there it started little bit. So we used to meditate on a divine light. I don't have an idea about this pyramid meditation and all, but I just meditate on divine light.
We do meditation, for a peace of mind or for a blissful life actually. You have a long days, rescuing animals, you have their attention, you have a very hectic schedule actually. So how does meditation play a vital role over here?
Actually, meditation keeps my mind calm and peaceful. It helps me to control my emotions. Sometimes I cry a lot. Sometimes I get emotionally breakdown because some animals which I rescued, they might suddenly die. Handling those situations is very tough for me. So I used to meditation after that situation. So slowly I am able to control my emotions.
So it's like meditation helps you in this manner.
Meditation also helps me to take right decisions.
You have been rescuing animals, and as I also work towards animals, I know there are many challenges involved. Let that be financial or let that be emotional thing. There are many animals where we are not able to reach them because of the limited resources. So how is Breathe actually reaching out to every nook and corner of Hyderabad?
As an independent rescuer from past 6 years, I faced many challenges. Luckily, I got collaborated with another NGO. It's Sree Animal Foundation of India. Founder of it is Ujjwala Chintala, and she works for Indian stray animals from America. So with their support, we are continuing now. We have an ambulance now. It's 24/7 ambulance. So we have a capacity of 50 dogs at a time. So in a month, we'll likely take 50 dogs. After once they are rescued and they are cured, we'll be releasing back again. So we'll be reaching on a calls. Our number you can find in Google or Instagram. So if you give a call, and share a location, then we'll be sending nearest volunteer or we'll be sending ambulance from there to clinic and clinic to shelter.
So how is it going now?
It's going very nice now. And we are getting many calls, at least 15 calls per day. We can only take few because limited workers and limited place. So we have many challenges in handling rescues.
Yeah. You said that you are an individual rescuer from a quite long time. So me also being an individual rescuer, I know that the challenges that we face is that we usually get in a confused mind if that shelter is a genuine shelter or no. Because when we take care of an animal, we generally do it like our own kid. So we don't want to put it in a shelter where, there are no proper assistance that is being given to them. So when it comes to other shelters, people have this mentality that, these shelters are not genuine. They are being only run for the money sake. So when it comes to Breathe Shelter, how is it different from the other shelters around in the world?
Breathe is definitely different from other shelters because our shelter is open for volunteers anytime, and we have many caretakers who will continuously keep on updating us about their health conditions or about their food. We'll be checking them continuously. That's a major work. We'll be giving baths every week, and we'll be taking care of tick and flea medication. We'll be giving dewormers every month. So we'll be updating the rescuer on the dog. Like if you gave a call us and said about a rescue, like definitely we'll be updating the reporter about the dog every week. Reporter is always welcome to our shelter to check their own dog.
So like Breathe Shelter is always open for anybody who can come down and who can have a check on if the shelter is genuine or no.
Like that's the major thing. Some people does bad talks, but we don't know what's exactly going on there. Like if you are having really an interest, like you can come on, check us our shelter, then you can only decide.
Because generally people when they call, and if you are not able to take it because of the limit that we have in the shelter, they generally think that we are only working for, just for the money's sake or just to show that we have a shelter running. So for these people I wanted you to clarify this, that how Breathe Shelter is different.
Actually our shelter is having many challenges. Like we'll be getting many cases per day. Like we have a limit of 40 to 50 dogs. Like once if the limit is crossed, if we take your rescue also, we cannot give good care and attention. So without giving care and attention, it's useless to take your dog. So people who call us, if we say that we cannot take your dog, like some people will be shouting at us. But the actual situation is this: we are not having plays and we are having many challenges. That's the major thing.
And I totally understand that. So moving ahead, you have been a vegan since many years. So why did you transform yourself into a vegan? Like what was the trigger point in your life where you felt that no, this is the point that I want to be a vegan now?
After becoming a rescuer also, for a few years I was non-vegetarian. And in this rescue journey I came across some videos which really helped me understand the plight of the animals. So after seeing that video, I came to know that all creatures in this world or earth are having right to live. Like who are we to kill them? Who are we to decide their life? So every animal or creature has their own individuality.
Because of those videos that made you turn into a vegan.
Those screams made me cry. After looking at those screams and I saw really a heart moving video. Like I saw how hen is cut and how the eggs are made and how the goats are killed. So
how the dairy works.
Yeah, that really melt my heart. And knowing about the milk and all, I came to know that this dairy farms, they reduce the lifespan of cows. Actually normally cow, they at least live for 22 that years. But what dairy farms do, they'll be continuously giving artificial insemination. They'll be continuously make the cow give a birth, so for the milk production. So I saw them and I felt very bad for them. Their lifespan is reduced to 7 to 8 years. How sad it is.
I totally understand that. So what is that message that you want to give to the audience watching this?
Actually veganism is not only for compassion, it's for health too. Because our stomach is made for simple nutrition, and those non-veg and milk which contains lactose, we actually don't need that. We have many replacements which are there for our health. You drink milk for calcium and we have a replacement for that. Sesame seeds are replacement for that, and this curry leaves are there. So we have many replacement for cruelty products. So it's not only for animals, it's for yourself and your own health.
So moving ahead, it is nowadays all we see is that news about animal being thrashed or animal abuse and animal being raped, and there are many news which are very heart touching, and it feels bad that we are not able to do anything. So through this platform I wanted to explain about how important it is for one to actually practice animal compassion.
Actually, I feel that parents are having major responsibility about their kids. They play a major role in the kids' life. Luckily, I found a school where it taught me about the compassion and all. That's the reason I was little compassionate. So like every parent or every school, if they start teaching about animal compassion or animal love and rights of the animal, then definitely a kid will grow in a good manner. Like today's kids are tomorrow's society. So definitely you have to make your children to learn from childhood. So that's the major thing I feel.
And what about the news around, like how can we play our role in, stopping all of this animal abuse?
Actually, there are many rights. Like we have to first know the rights and we have to fight for them. Like there are many cruelty cases which we can keep. So just seeing the news and just closing the paper, that's not nice. We have to really act on that. We have to really share the word, spread the word. We have to give awareness. So because of awareness, many change actually. I changed because of I got awareness from this Ravi sir or animal activist Arvind. So they played a vital role in my life. So they actually fight for animal cruelty and all. So if every people know the I feel that punishments has to be more for the people who do animal cruelty. So that may that may create a little bit change in the society. Like punishment has to be increased and penalty has to be increased. Like penalty is like 50 rupees if you do animal cruelty. Like 50 rupees is nowadays a very little amount. So penalty has to be increased, I feel.
And 50 rupees and comparing that with a life is nowhere, equal. And I also see that many people are actually standing up for this, so that the government makes new laws and there are, strict punishment for the people who actually indulge in this animal abuse. So Sree, you have been spreading the word with all around about veganism, about how important animal compassion is how everyone has to be responsible when it comes to animals. Let that be, if you're seeing an animal lying on the road and you're just passing by without even informing the rescuer about it. So you have been spreading all these messages to the people so that together we can make a difference in the society. So I just want you to elaborate about all of these campaigns that you do.
Actually, people feel that if you turn into vegan, like we won't get enough nutrients or enough protein and all, but it's a myth actually. We have many substitutes. Actually, you eat chicken for what? For protein. Like you can get the same protein in these lentils and all. So like you drink milk for what? Majorly we use milk in these teas, coffees and all. So we can replace that with badam milk or cashew milk, which we can prepare in 15 minutes in our homes. So it's not a major thing for us, because giving 15 minutes in our home, like everyone can give for their own health. So it's really very important. And one more thing, if you are passing by an animal which is lying down or which is which has got injured, like it's just a basic humanity that you must help any creature which is in need. So you have to just stop for a second, you have to just check the animal. One thing which you can do is you can share the location, or you can you can share a picture or location to any animal rescue team. Like you have to wait till they come, or else if the animal rescue team is already indulged in other rescue, like take little time, go drop in their shelter. If shelter is also not accepting the dog, you can take to a hospital or clinic or something. It's just a little time in our life, but it's the dog's whole life. Not only dog, any animal which is in need, it's their whole life. For us, it's just a little time, like it's a time of 1 hour or 2 hours, but saving a life is more than anything.
And that is the thing that we usually see in the society, because people are lacking with the basics of, how important it is to save the animals around it. They are not just a creature lying on the road. They are just as we are. They also have a life. They also have a family. And that is what is important for people to actually understand this concept that, saving a human life is as equal to saving an animal life.
Actually, everyone must know that as a human, we have to give equal importance to other creatures too. Actually, I am writing a rescue stories for kids that will be published in 1 month or 2. Stories are majorly for kids. We will be sharing our rescue stories, like how we found a dog on road, how we have rescued. like how it got improved, how we have released back or adopted. So by reading those books, no, like children get little bit awareness of these rescues or compassion towards animals and all. So this is just a small try which we are giving.
And it is a very wonderful thought, because if we inculcate those values right from the younger age, then they will be a wonderful human when they grow up, right?
We are concentrating children and we are writing picture stories actually. Like book will contain many pictures of rescues which we have done. So children are most interested in these pictures actually. So we are getting this idea into book.
You have been rescuing from a very quite long time. So I want you to elaborate on your journey, like, you know, if you have found a dog lying on the road, or if you have got a call, and then what is the kind of process that it takes to your shelter?
Actually, if we get a call from a reporter, then we'll ask them to share the location and contact number of the person who stays there. So we'll ask for a pic or a video. If it is very serious condition, then we'll be asking the caller to take to nearest clinic, or if not, we'll ask them to wait till we come. Like we go to the location, we pick the dog. From there, if it is very serious, we'll be taking to clinic, or else we'll be taking to shelter. So once after we take to clinic, we'll get it checked there, and we'll be using the prescribed medicine. Like from there, we'll be getting back to shelter. We'll be giving good food which doctor has prescribed. We'll be taking care of the injured one till the complete recovery. And if someone is ready to adopt, we'll give for adoption. If not, we'll be releasing in a dog friendly streets. Like if my friend is an animal volunteer, then I'll take the help of her and I'll just ask her to feed regularly to the dog. Like I'll get it habituated to that street and I'll be releasing the dog there. We follow this process. So if it is adopted, it's really very happy. But you know, in India, adoption rate is very less.
Yeah, and that too when
everyone
it comes
needs,
to Indian.
Yeah, everyone needs breeds actually. So in India, as adoption rate is very less, we'll try to habituate the dog in any like animal friendly streets.
Yeah. Also, when we are talking about the breeds over here, I also want you to highlight on how lovely and how wonderful are Indians too. They are as same as the breed dogs.
From my experience, I felt that Indies are more resistant and more friendly than breeds actually, because with breeds we have many issues like hair fall and they get tumors, cancers, diabetes, overweight actually. But Indians are they are habituated to this temperature. Actually, they are more than a breeds actually. We have an Indie dog in our home. Like Indian dogs are very playful, loving, and they even know the commands which we do. Like they listen to our commands, they work on the commands. So it's all about the love you give to them, whether it's a breed or it's an Indie dog. The love you give is important.
And I don't understand this concept that why people differentiate between an Indian and with a breed, because when it comes to animals, every animal is lovable. If it is just that how we see it from our perspective or how we feel about them, right?
Yeah, we rescue most of the Indie dogs actually. So they are more resistant, like injuries, if they get any injuries, no, like they'll be cured in within weeks or months. But once we get any breed dog rescue, then it takes a long time usually. It's not very easy thing with breeds actually. Actually, we feel that breed dogs are very cute, but the actual cruelty is behind the walls actually. Like they make the dogs breed, they make the mother dog very weak, they give continuous birth to kids. So it's a very terrific situation of the mother of the breed dogs. So that's again cruelty which we are doing to animals. So if we shift to Indie dogs, it's like actually it's a very important thing to give give life to needy one. Indie dogs are in need of a home actually, because we see many worse situations in the streets. Some when they are kids they run on the roads, they met with an accident. Some with any viral disease they die. So it's very pathetic condition of them. So we have to give the life which are in need actually.
It is just that, only we people who work for the animals, we know actually how the breeders actually work, every time they have been giving births to the animals. All life, all they do is that they give birth so that the breeders can earn money out of it. They don't know how cruel the breeding section is. So when it comes to Indian, there are a lot of street dogs, there are a lot of puppies waiting out there to go to their forever homes, and it gets very difficult for the rescuers actually to find the right adopters, because when we find an adopter, within a week or within a month we again get a call that it is not getting adopted to our house and we want to give it back. So it is actually, we are playing with their mental health too. So rightly put that Indies dogs are more compassionate, though every dog is more compassionate, but when it comes to Indian, that it is a need of the hours that everybody adopts an Indian.
Actually, if you take a dog, it's a responsibility of 13 to 14 years. Actually, if you are ready for that responsibility, you have to take a dog or adopt a dog. If not, if you feel the dog as a gift, or if you just treat a dog as a dog, then it's not a good thing. Like, better you don't adopt the dog, better you don't buy. Like, they need love. Like, they expect the love from us. They all need is love. Actually, we need money, assets and all, but they just need love from us. If you are ready to that responsibility, then only you can adopt the dog. Like, some feel dog as a gift for Christmas or gift for New Year, gift for birthday. So it's not correct thing. Like, you're playing with the life of a dog. So their mental health disturbs actually. If the dog is once shifted from one place to another place, it will go into mental trauma actually. It takes very long time to become normal for the puppy. So what we do in this adoption process is, like, once we'll be going to their home, we'll check before adoption, we'll do pre-adoption checks, we'll be filling application with them, we'll be get them signed. Like, once after we give it for adoption, we'll ask them to continue the vaccinations. Once after we give also, we'll be doing post-adoption checks actually. We'll be sending nearest volunteer to their home and continue the post-adoption checks. Like, if we feel the dog is safe there, then it's very happy. Like, if we feel the dog is not safe and not treated well, then we'll again get to the shelter. Before only we'll say them, if you want to, if you have a thought of abandoning, you have to just get and drop in our shelter. We get at least 2 to 3 calls of abandoned dogs. So they go into mental trauma. Again, we'll take special care for them. Like, sometimes I get any abandoned dog to my home, till the recovery I'll be keeping with me, and again I'll be trying for adoption. So these abandoned dogs will take special care. We'll ask volunteers to foster in their homes actually, because street dogs can be treated in shelter, but these abandoned breed dogs or abandoned indie dogs, they go into mental trauma. That's the reason we foster in our homes.
Because nowadays all we see is that they get a dog, they actually tie it all day on their gates just like a watchman, and then when they feel that we are not able to take care of it, or it is not listening to their commands, then what they do is that they just abandon in a very far kind of place from where it cannot come back to their house. And that is what all we hear about. So what message do you want to give to the people who actually abandon their pets?
Like, first of all, it's not correct abandoning your dog. Like, if you really want to get rid of your dog, talk to shelters which they can take in. Actually, there are many shelters in Hyderabad or over. Like, we have many shelters in India.
Yes,
like, you give a try to every shelter, one or the other will take your dog. So it's the main thing that your try is important here. Like, you have to try for a good home. Like, it's a sin actually. Abandoning your dog is a sin. It's same as abandoning your child who don't know anything.
That's what we were talking about. If at all you take them as your kid, then only you can understand their emotions, you can understand their pain, and you can understand them well actually. Running a shelter all alone will be very difficult for you. So there are volunteers working around, or you have a team full-fledged that work for these animals?
Yeah, we have many volunteers who work for us. Like, I just want to thank all the volunteers who are working for our shelter. Like, they play a very major role. Sometimes if our ambulance is not available to go to a rescue place, then the volunteers will go. They'll get the dog treated and drop in our shelter. So sometimes they foster the needy dogs. Sometimes they take the dogs from shelter to vet. So volunteers play a very major role in our shelter.
Okay. So also Saishri, apart from like dogs, what all animals do you rescue and what all animals are there in your shelter?
Actually, as an independent rescuer, I rescued many birds too. Birds and this cows too. I gave the cows to goshalas and all. But now our shelter is only for dogs. Like if I get any cat rescues, I keep in my home and I'll treat them. But shelter is only particularly for dogs. Because dogs won't accept any other animals like birds and cats. So it's little bit challenging for us to take other creatures rather than dogs.
So you are working from Hyderabad city and you work all around the Hyderabad city, or you are just confined to one place?
No, our rescue services are all around Hyderabad and we take from other Telangana districts too. Like we get calls from Karimnagar, Siddipet, Anantapur, Kurnool. Actually, there is a team in Kurnool who is not having basic X-ray facility in their town. So we'll be taking up their cases actually. They'll be rescuing and they'll be sending the dogs which are in need to our shelter. From here, we'll be getting them treated and again after cured, then we'll send back to Kurnool again. So we'll get calls from various places.
Oh, that is actually wonderful that you are also working apart from Hyderabad.
Through Instagram page, like we get requests from various states too. So what we do to them is we connect to the nearest shelter actually. We research on the nearest shelters to them and we give them contact of the nearest shelters. So we'll be giving information to them.
Also, Saishri, during this pandemic, during this lockdown, there are a lot of animals which were on the streets starving. So what all help did your shelter do to them?
We used to cook at least 100 to 150 kgs of rice for them and we used to feed all over the like Hyderabad. We used to keep one spot for volunteers. They'll come and collect the food from us and they will feed in their own areas. Actually, we have done this all over the COVID lockdown and we'll be doing if again lockdown is kept. So in this way we used to feed the needy one.
Okay. So apart from that also you have been feeding other dogs also, like the ones who have been lactating or the ones who actually need starving around, right?
Actually, if we find any like a very thin dog, skinny dog or any lactating mother, then we'll be definitely feeding to them. As nowadays people like who stays in apartments and all, they even don't come down and keep the rest of the food to the dogs. Actually, they just keep in the cover and throw it in dustbin. Like in our olden days, they used to keep the rest over food in the outside area. So as nowadays it's very challenging keeping the food to dogs. So we'll be definitely feeding the puppies, lactating mothers, and like which are in need, like which are very skinny.
You have also been stressing about the ABC, which is animal birth control. So how important it is in this scenario where we see that, there are a lot of female dogs, there are a lot of female animals around who are giving births to so many, and it is getting multiplied day and night. And because of that, they meet with the accidents and they don't have the proper food or they don't have the proper life. So how important it is for one to actually get these sterilizations done?
Sterilizations are very much important than rescues actually, because we can save many puppies or further generations of the dogs if we do ABC. Actually, some people questions me like we are doing a sin because we are not letting them to do sex. Like that they'll be asking me. We are already involved in the lives of them. Like it's not correct if any dog is in forest, we'll go them and catch them, and if we get it sterilized, it's a wrong thing. Like once we already involved in the lives of them, now in these busy days, like in this we are actually involved in their lives due to rapid growth of industries and houses, apartments. We are actually involved, so it's very mandatory to get them sterilized. Like if you are not involved, it's other thing. Like after involvement, we have to work for their wellness.
Yes. And sterilization is not a bad process because in a way we are saving a life which is going to come further, because the mother dog which has to go through all the life, because of this no sterilization, she has to give birth to puppies, and those puppies again, they come up on the street, they meet with accidents, and the mother dog also, she has to go through a lot of sufferings and pain. So because of this sterilization, all we do is that we just reduce that pain, we just reduce that suffering so that they can live a better life altogether.
Like most of the rescues we get are puppies only. because viral disease of the puppies and accident of them, like they make our heart move because we cannot take all of them, and we cannot leave them like that. So because it's very challenging to rescue puppies, so sterilization is very much important. You must not, like, it's not like you have to do sterilizations in a major way. Like if you sterilize your street dog which is in your area, then it's a far more better thing.
It was really lovely knowing about your journey, Sree, and I just wish you all the luck for your future days and for your breathe shelter, so that you can rescue more animals, you can reach to more animals out there in Hyderabad. So lastly, winding up this episode, like, you have been a vegan, you have been a meditator, you have been an animal rescuer, an animal activist. So combining all this together, I want you to give a strong message to all the audience watching this.
In our regular day we listen ahimsa parmo dharma, but those are not just words. It works if we keep them into actions. So I just want people to think about this, like know the actual meaning of it and keep that in your daily lives. That matters.
Yes, right. Thank you so much, Sree, for joining in this episode of Social Heroes. So viewers, this was Sree in this episode of Social Heroes, and she is the founder of Breathe Shelter, and I hope that her life journey, her spiritual journey have inspired you to take a step further for the animals out there, because that animals look up to us and we need to be there for them. Also, if you're not able to feed any dog, or you're not able to help them because you don't know how to do that, then you can reach out to Breathe Shelter, because they are working round the clock for the animal welfare. So you can support them by your financial help. You can also donate food bags to them, so that in a way it helps the Breathe Shelter to expand their services out of Hyderabad too, because it is because of your support that they are able to rescue animals in large numbers. They are able to render their services through this Breathe Shelter, and they are able to run the shelter round the clock. So do come and support Breathe Shelter if you're not able to help any animal out there on the street. And I hope that this episode brings a little difference in your life, because as we say that together we can make a difference. So let's do that. So with this is Ayushi Farasi signing off. Stay tuned to PMC English for more updates. 100 years from now, it will not matter what sort of houses you lived in, what your bank account was, or the car you drove. But the world will be different because you made a difference in the lives of animals and the creatures on this planet Earth. And in this episode, we have someone who truly stands for this objective. Meet Sree, the founder of Breathe Shelter, who is a vegan and a meditator. Breathe is an animal shelter that was started with the belief to reach out to all the needy animals and stand for love and compassion towards all living beings. Sree, with the help of Stray Animal Foundation of India and other volunteers, works round the clock for the welfare of animals in Hyderabad city. Right from rescue, rehabilitation, veterinary care of sick, injured and abused domestic animals, to sending them to their forever homes, Sree is making sure that she saves as many animals as it is possible. Apart from this, Breathe Shelter also encourages compassion towards animals and raises animal welfare awareness in public, urging people to embrace a cruelty-free lifestyle. In this episode, Sree unfolds her inspirational life journey as to how she evolved as an individual rescuer who started with a dog and now saves many lives. So stay tuned to PMC English for the full episode.